Hello. I guess we missed each other yesterday because of the storm and Harper was closed. So you don't have to make up a makeup day. The way I'm going to do, here's the assignment for you to complete, which would have been our discussion that we would have had Tuesday night. So go into your class, right? You click in. This is a short YouTube I'm sending out to you. You click in into the class. What you're going to do, it's taking a little while here. A little slow. You're going to go into your weekly assignments. Now, you're going to go on your weekly assignments. We've been through there. You click on there. Weekly assignments. Running a little slow for some reason. There we go. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the student mode. This way it'll be the same thing that you see. This way I'm going to check it. You're going to go into the student mode. It's going to take a second. Now remember, you already will have your my finance lab. It's open for this week. I know Connie asked me to do open week 3. I'll open that up later on today. Okay, I'm going to enter student mode. There we go. I'm in the student mode. So now this is what you should see. You're going to come in here, weekly assignment, and you're only going to see week 1 and week 2 open. Okay, I think I got week 3. Okay, you're going to go into week 2. You're going to click on that, and most of you already completed your form on the CNN financial outcome. I'll be grading that. That was due before the class. You already done that. You have 4 YouTubes I want you to look at. This one's a 10-minute YouTube net present value. I want you to click on this one. I just want you to understand, when you click on there, it's going to start off with, what do you call it? What is it? MBAbullshit.com. That's his. He's a PhD. He's a consultant. Don't get upset. BS. And when he says about BSbullshit.com, he's basically just talking about, for lack of better words, he's taking off all the other items and just basically looking at the core. I want you to learn now. What is important now? You know what I mean? Not all the fluff, all the different additives to it. He's going right to the basic. So you could fast forward the first few things if you want to listen to that. It's just his YouTube. This is the same YouTube I've been looking when I went for my PhD, when I went for my master. He's around. He's a consultant. This is like his little trailers, but it's good enough information for you. Okay, so look at that, and it gives you some information. I have 2 of them, so he's going to talk about net present value. It basically is when a company's do I borrow now? What happens when or do I wait till a few years? You look at net present value. You're looking at what the cost of the money would be in the future, and you bring it back to now, to today. That's all finance is about. Do I make this product? Do I invest now or invest later? Okay, real quickly, it'll make real sense. You got a little too. It makes it so simplified. You go, my goodness, I understand it. Then you're going to look at the next one. He's going to look at value calculation, and then he's going to look at the future value. So and you have to look at both of them when you're going to decide when should I make a project go, or what is my ramification or future value. How much, if I put money now, will be worth in the future if I want the project to go forward. Remember, this is finance. So finance is not only acquiring goods, it's how to set up the company to make sure it has the money in the future, like your savings. You put away for college, or do you go to school now? Okay, again, go into it. A 10 minutes. He's got pictures, little narrative, little story, but very simplified to understand what net present value is and what future value is. Does a better job than I could ever do. Now, the other one we're talking about, because we're going to be covering, this is what I've been doing in the class. I'd run the videos, and then we would discuss it. But now you're just going to discuss it in the discussion board, but how you put what you learned out of the videos. The other one is, how do I make money buying bonds? Now, I put this one here, and she's a financial advisor from Canada, so she talks a little bit, but it doesn't make a difference whether you're buying Canadian bonds or U.S. bonds. She uses both of them. So I want you to look at this, and I put this in as a younger person, so you don't have to say it's only old people who know this finance. And I want to put on, remember, the majority of my class in this class, except for Chris, are all women. So now I throw in a woman. I want to be balanced, okay? So you have that. So she has a good thing, and it's talking about the bonds, tells you the basics about the bonds. Look at, when you read the chapter, look at your convertible bonds and everything else, so you'll have that. Then you're going to look at why the Federal Reserve is hiking interest rates. Now, again, this is just recently. Now, what I talked about, you had to look at the Trump effect. Whether you like President Trump or not, he's a president. He's the one controlling the economics now. They talk about the Trump effect is basically say because he's a business person, business people have some confidence. Remember, I'm not looking at his other issues, anything else, immigration, everything else. I'm a business person. What is he doing with his administration that I have to be successful within the next 2 years? If he wins the election, okay, the next 4 years. If not, it doesn't make a difference. I'm a business. I have to be able to adapt to the environment. I cannot control it. He's there. He's doing that. Is it good for me or is it bad for me? So this is where this interest rate, Federal Reserve. What's he doing with the Fed? Why is he pulling on the Fed? Why is he yelling at the Fed? Is he controlling the Fed? What's going on? So he is looking at it from that point. So understand? So when I talk about this and he brings this up, I want you to start looking what the administration is doing now. I'm a business person. I'm not looking at the future after the election. I'm looking now. I got to survive now. I have to make my decisions now. Businesses have to work with the environment. As I mentioned before in class, businesses both give to the Democratic Party and to the Republican Party. We're neutral. Whoever is in charge, whatever the rules are, how will it benefit me as a business person? And I have to look at that from a financial perspective. I'm making decisions now to the future. Now, the last one I want you to look at, remember you have your article reviews, you'll submit it. Okay, now I just had this from one of the students from last semester. He couldn't do his article reviews. So remember, so he couldn't do the article reviews, so instead he didn't want to lose the points, he created a short YouTube. If you're not going to be in class, and here's how it works, you're going to miss the class, I let you do the article reviews the following week, not the week before, the following week, because we're going to cover the information in the chapter, so the students could connect with your article review and our chapter learning. Remember, I'm looking at how we work this class, how we learning finance. I want you to understand finance, see what's going on, get the articles and be able to respond to it and say, hey, this is what companies are doing, and here's how it's gonna how this chapter reading applies, and we pick up one area. So next week, chapter team one, I was supposed to do it Tuesday because of snow. You'll be doing it next week with team two. Now, team two, you have to talk to your other the chapters we're covering. Look at the syllabi and look at what chapters we're covering and discuss between the teams which chapter you will be covering. So if I'm looking at team two, so you're going to go into real quickly. You're going to go in here into where the heck I have it. Yeah, your groups. Now you're going to go click in, and I'm only in group 4. I'm all by myself. I usually take stragglers in there. When you click in this group, that's the only group you're going to see. You're going to see, in this one, you're going to see me. If I have some other students, you're going to see your other team members, 3 or 4 team members. You'll have the file exchange discussion board, and that's between them. You'll have their emails and everything else you could send out to them, okay? So let's go back into our weekly assignment. So I'm back into week 2. And now remember, this is the student here. I just want to show you, Jason did a real nice one. Click on that, and it should click on there easy, and you see how he did as an option. This is a blended class, a fast track class. So so if you have a snow day, I don't care. I just have you do more work online or in the discussion board as to make up the time. So you're always going to have the contact errors. I didn't have a chance to show you. Last semester we had something similar, and I had a virtual meeting in the classroom, but I kind of prepped them before that. So I don't want to go into that. We're just going to use the discussion board on that. Okay, so you have that. So you're going to come in there, you're going to watch these. You already completed this. All of you have done that. Very good posting. I'll be grading that. You look at each video, and then you look at Jason, see how he did his article review. And some of you may want to say, I don't want to talk in front of class. I'll do a YouTube. I'll just play the YouTube in front of the class on next Tuesday. Because I want to bring technology into this. Part of being in business, especially the adult fast track, how do I use videos and technology? Because this is how I communicate with my stockholders, my shareholders, or any or stakeholders or employees. You have your finance lab. Make sure you have your next exam that's going to come up covering this week after this. And remember, you got 2 tries on the exam. So you do the first try, and I didn't put any time limit. Take your time, look at it, work on it, and after you submit it, you didn't get the right score, you didn't like the grade, you could take it right off there. It has to be in the same setting. Okay, so pick that, and that's due before next Tuesday. Your article review, this is where you'll be submitting it in here, and then you do the presentation in front of the class. So you already, now, here's the homework. Now, you're supposed to identify your company. So that's what we're going to do. If you didn't do it, I'll push this over till next week. I'll extend the time on this. Okay, so you could do it. if your group hasn't decided what company you're going to be reviewing for your final project. Remember, there's no final exam. It's your final project, presentation, and a write-up that we've discussed in class. Again, you can go in your groups if you already have it. Once you post, here's the company. I'm going to do J.C. Penney's because they're struggling now. They're in there. It has to be a company that for the last 2 years is going down. That's coming up. So it looks like it's already going to bottom out. So it's going to happen. J.C. Penney's been a while since it's been going down and down. You pick up the company, you post it. Once you post J.C. Penney, let's say Team 1 posts J.C. Penney's or Team 2, and I say approve, and the first one who posts it, that's the company you're going to have. You're going to find another company if both teams are deciding to do the same company. So the first one to post, the better off you are. And then I'll say, okay, this company's approved, it's failing, and that's the company to be working. So when you're doing your article reviews, you'll be able to, it may not find an article for the chapter for your company, but if you're going to be doing for your recommendations, you can say, here's something that another company done, and we're going to implement it here. So remember, no busy work. I want you to just pretend you're chief financial officer or consulting company that we discussed, and you're going to try to bring this company out of the hole and make it go forward. Okay? So article reviews, you've got that. Now, okay, so good. Now the thing I had, let me exit here because what I forgot, I have to go in here, and I'm going to go into weekly assignment because I forgot to do it. Okay, I'm going to click on weekly assignment. Week 2, I'm in the teacher's mode. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to put in a form. I'm going to do assessment tools. I'm going to do a discussion board that you're going to be doing this. And here I have it. I have identify your week 2, career objectives, reflection. What the heck? It didn't come in here. Hang on a second, class. 1 second. Where the heck am I? Okay, good thing about recording. I just put it on pause. Now we're back in. Okay, so you're back in here. Now what you'll see, remember, you've got your write-up. You submit your write-ups in here, the link, and you can bring in your articles that you'll be discussing next week. You've got your homework assignments and exams I discussed. And here's the discussion board. Remember, it's worth 30 points. You do a short write-up after you look at all these, do these readings, and then do, okay, for net present value, here's what I learned. And, real quick, a few sentences. Give me the main points so I know in your own words. Don't repeat everything. What does this really mean for you in your own words? And everything else in your own words. Remember, don't give me the definitions. I want you to be able to explain it so you internalize it inside. Okay, and then what do you think about bonds? So you list 1, 2, 3, 4. Here's the article. Say reserve. Here's bonds. Here's future value, net present value. This is what it means to me if I had to explain this in class or to somebody else. Okay, and then look at Jason's review. Oh, I got him spelled wrong. Johnson. Sorry. Edit. Jason. Okay. Sorry. All right, up in here. And if it doesn't work, remember the link's set up. All you have to do is click on it, and it'll work. And now here's the way this discussion is going to board is going to be set up. You will not be able to see anybody else's discussions posting until you post for yours first. The reason for that is some people don't look at their YouTube. They just read somebody else's, and read 5 different posts. I understand it, and I do my post. I don't say cheat, but I basically get an overview and I don't have to do it. This way, you put yours in, you look at the videos, put your own words in, and then after you do your first post, you'll see the other postings on there. And remember, this is due by next Tuesday, so don't wait till the last minute. Easy looking videos, respond to that, and you can't wait till Tuesday before the due date because you have to respond to 3 or 4 of the students within the class. More the better. Read everyone else's posting. It'd be like a discussion only in a virtual classroom as you'll be doing in business, discussing different items and things. Okay? So I've done everything else. This is it. Make sure you do the homework, do this, complete this, look at the YouTubes, look at Jason's article review here and how he did it, and he did it in the airport. This is the first time he ever did a YouTube. He said, I never did this before. He looked professional. He had the articles, he had his camera, he had his phone, and he was in the airport waiting for a flight, and he received his 25 points for the article reviews. At that time, this was his first one. So let's do it. I missed you all. I know it's happened, but that's the beauty of being a blended class. We just make up the work here instead of me adding another classroom period for us to do the homework, since it's 4 hours we missed. Okay, I'll see you Tuesday, and drive safely, and I'll talk to you later. Bye. And make